Yo, what's going on, Legends? District here. Welcome back to the District Raw channel, where we have lots of unedited raw District gameplay, moments from streams, coaching sessions, rank sessions, all the above. We're still kind of experimenting with it, so we're trying to figure out what exactly we're going to be posting regularly here on the channel. But today we got a different video for you guys. We don't have a gameplay from ours, but instead we have 4 gameplays from 4 different pro players that we're going to be breaking down and explaining why these players are good, why these players may be bad, how these players could be playing better, and we're basically going to help you understand what you need to do if you want to be like one of your favorite pros. Keep in mind, this was from one of our recent live streams here on YouTube and also over on Twitch. So if you want to start seeing this content more regularly, not just whenever we upload it once we get around to it, but you want to start seeing it more regularly throughout the week, feel free, come hop on into the live streams on YouTube and over on Twitch, link in the description down below. Come ask some questions, give us some suggestions that may be what you want to see on stream, and we'll do our best to get that going. Now, with that being said, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that YouTube knows you want to keep seeing this type of content on your feed more regularly, not just from me, but from other people in the community as well. I really hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the streams, my friend. Damn, bro, the fact that Zerbo is only at 25k subs is interesting. Okay, last video he uploaded Marvel Rivals. Oh, I guess he's just not uploading any Apex content, huh? Damn, 1 hour long, 30 minutes long. There's some long. Are these just straight gameplays? Which streamer react to #1 rank Horizon? How a pro player gets Apex Predator. Horizon makes Twitch streamers cry. Damn, I don't really want to watch a 30-minute video, so I guess we'll skip through it. We'll skim through it here. Lemonhead? We've done Lemonhead a bunch in the past.
Oh my god, wait. Oh, good.
All right. Oh, 1440p. I don't need 1440p. I don't even have a 1440p monitor. All right, sweet.
I'm watching that Horizon Q.
Oh my god, wait. Oh, good shot. What the f? You're him.
That's a third party.
Is this just gonna be like a reaction video?
Yo, this is their both team. Watch the Horizon.
He's under.
Is this a reaction video or is this like a gameplay video?
Backlash.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip the intro and get right into platinum. All right, we're starting right on top of everyone, ulting one player so that he's distracted so that we can take a 1v1. Awesome. Forcing that challenge and realizing no one's on us. Awesome. So this is something that a lot of players, especially on Horizon, they don't really understand. When it comes to taking fights, they look at the ultimate as a way to focus a player. And that's not necessarily like the wrong idea. Like, you can definitely play ultimate on Horizon and then focus that player. You can throw a nade spam on them, you can keep them sucked into that ult, and you can shoot them. But when we look at the overall way that we take gunfights, right? What we're looking for is something that allows us to either move forward so that we can force damage, or we're looking for something that gives us a type of situation that we can like play off of, or, you know, essentially force. So when we look at Zerbo taking this fight here, okay, if I want to focus on these 2 players, I want to take this fight, but I can't, because if I fight one person, someone else looks at me, and if I fight the other guy looks at me. So I'm going to make sure that this guy on the right can't fight me, and then because of that, oh, this guy has blue shield, I can hold him in the open, and I can force him to take this 1v1 with me, knowing that I have more health than him. Exactly what happens right there. Amazing. Awesome. Okay, cool. That other guy was distracted. I'm basically full health. I can take this what we call an ego challenge, right? And I can force this 1v1. Boom. Awesome. And now, okay, awesome. You know, if I get knocked to this last person, at least I can just like shoot as hard as I can and force that, which is beautiful. Now, maybe the only thing that's just not good about this play with Zerbo is after he takes this 1v1 and he turns on this person here, for an average player, you would not want to do this. Zerbo can get away with it, again, because I said earlier, Zerbo is an aimer. This guy just, he beams on the controller. Zero recoil. So he can get away with that. An average person, you wouldn't be able to turn around, stand in the open, especially when someone has cover. Now, also, this Pathfinder here, no hit on him. He was getting shot in the side, so it's either I'm going to get shot from one or the other. Realistically here, if you're going to challenge one person, at least just challenge, especially if the guy you're shooting is stuck in the open, at least challenge in and out of the cover. Trek Lee with the $5 super chat. Much love. How we doing, man? Trek. I always get that wrong. Treek Lee. What's going on, homie? How we doing, dog? Much love, brother. Appreciate you hopping in today, saying what's up, homie. What a beamer. Taking gunfight. 3 challenges. Sweet. Here's audio. Oh, I hear him inside. I'm gonna make sure I look for him, or no, I'm gonna let you step out in the open and get that free damage. And then I'm gonna start forcing everything onto you. Hear him behind me. I'm gonna start looking behind. Need to reset. I hear him rezzing. Make sure I can get this full reset off. Oh, that's unfortunate. Awesome. So Zerbo uses something. Do I still have Apex open? I do. So Zerbo uses something that a lot of players don't use, and it's called jump slides. So when I'm doing coaching sessions, there's 2 slides that I teach everybody right away. That's not what I meant to do. Well, it kind of is. There's 2 slides that I teach everyone right away. One is called an instant slide, and the other one is called the jump slide. Everyone knows, maybe not everyone, a lot of people actually don't know this. When you're sliding in general, you have something called slide fatigue. So if I slide, or rather, if I slide, and then I go to slide again, you'll notice I have all these dead slides. I have no movement, which is very, very bad. But, oh, what just happened? I just got into a slide right there. I slide, dead slide, or dead slide, dead slide, dead slide. Oh, the slide kind of kicks in. So what Zerbo does is he uses something called jump slides. For a regular slide, you need to make sure that you have a sprint input, right? I can sprint into a slide, right? If I try to do that sideways, you just crouch, right? You do it backwards, you just crouch. But when you input a jump into a crouch, it puts you into a slide. So what Zerbo's doing a lot of the time when he's fighting, he uses a jump slide to keep his body moving while he's actually fighting. And this is why Zerbo kind of, not necessarily is like insane, he's definitely like an amazing player. In terms of movement, he's not insane, but he's very good because he keeps his body moving using these jump slides. So a lot of the time he'll come into a fight and you'll watch him basically just always be sliding. Zerbo also loves to use L-Star in really high mag capacity guns from a lot of the clips that I've seen, because it allows him to always be jumping and hitting these jump slides non-stop while being able to shoot. I don't see a lot of like Zerbo movement clips that isn't just this, just him sliding around. So when we go back and we give this clip a watch, what he's constantly doing, he forces a lot of challenges by inputting a jump slide to get his body moving right away into that challenge. So for instance, I'll kind of show this again, right? He kicks in this door here, he challenges, and then jump slides his way into that fight. This isn't an insane mechanic, but it's insanely useful. When you're fighting, it's so simple, but you can overcomplicate this like so much, and you can add so much to this. When I'm fighting, it takes multiple steps to build the momentum you need to get into a slide. If my gun's in my hand and I want to hit a slide, you have to take a minimum 1, 2, 3 steps. If you go shorter than those 3 steps, 1, 2, dead slide, you can't push. A way to get around it, holster the gun. 1 step slide, we call that an instant slide. Or if you change when your gun comes out, unholster step slide, right? You can get that slide going right away. Here's the issue. It requires a precursor. It requires a big input before you get the result that you want. But if I'm fighting, I can just jump slide and I'm instantly into the mechanic that I'm going for, which is the slide mechanic. The only issue with jump slides is that they don't go as far and they're not as fast, because a slide carries the momentum that you took into the mechanic. So if I'm taking a gunfight, it's a lot more aggressive. Whoops. It's a lot more aggressive to use an instant slide. I can go a lot further and a lot faster, but a jump slide gives me a lot more potential to get into the mechanic quicker, or rather get into the mechanic sooner rather than quicker. That's Horizon's main movement tech. A lot of people don't expect it. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not going to say. Let me rephrase this. It's not just Horizons. It's every Legend. I think a lot of controller players will use this a lot because they don't have a lot of movement mechanics available to them, like tap strafing, right? Meaning getting into wall jumps is a little bit tougher. You know, a lot of other things in general are just a lot tougher. So you'll see this mechanic pop up a lot because it's just so easy to use, right? Coming back to Zerbo here. Something that is really good with him, or something that is going to separate him. We'll see this with every player, every pro player that we watch. But something that Zerbo does a lot is he creates a small advantage and then he forces a play off of that small advantage. So right here, right? Super, super small. I'll bait you into the open. I'll catch you off guard. I'll hit you with that first shot. And then I'm going to force you to be stuck in front of me by using these jump slides. So I'll just push myself right into your body nonstop. Right? As well, something also that he's always doing. If you're listening with a headset, hold on. If you're listening with the headset, what you'll notice right here, he hears audio and then he instantly looks for where that sound is coming from. So right here, slide back right ear, I'm looking back right. And now I'm instantly putting myself in front of this player, and I'm going to use that jump slide to keep myself moving and to basically keep this player in front of me. And then same thing right here. Again, he forces people to be stuck in front of him. And because Zerbo just has such good aim, it's really easy for him to get away with it. I'm going to use this ultimate here. That's going to force one player. And then I'm going to use that to basically, you know, get a free 1v1. And now I'm just going to keep myself in front of him, and I'm going to force this 1v1. So when we look at Zerbo compared to like a lot of other pros, there's really nothing insanely special about him. He just has really good movement. My bad. He has really good aim. And he uses very simple movement to force a lot of fights. Now, I would almost bet if you take Zerbo and you put Zerbo in front of a pro player that knows how to manage their health, Zerbo is not going to do that well. He's not. The reason why, Zerbo doesn't manage his health that well. He doesn't. Which is why, and again, like, I mean, I don't really have any content that I can just show you right now, but every time I've ran into Zerbo, inside of ranked or inside of pubs, right? All of our fights have either been fair or like just someone just barely wins, because Zerbo doesn't do anything special. He's just an insane aimer, and he's really consistent at making sure he is always putting you into the open. He doesn't take himself out of bad situations a lot. When you watch him play, and this is why using Zerbo as a VOD review, playing like Zerbo as an average player is one of the worst things you can do. He is always in the open. He just out-aims everybody. Now, right now, this would make sense for Zerbo to play like where he is and keep himself in this fight so close because he had 2 pumps worth of an advantage over this player. One thing Zerbo could have done different right here. One thing that Zerbo didn't do in this play that he didn't oh, actually, you know what? I totally misread that. He shot a knocked person and I thought he shot someone on flesh. Zerbo played this perfectly. Drops down. Oh, he's still on. Now that he has this player broke, the last thing Zerbo should be doing is waiting for this player to peek him. Zerbo should do what he's been doing in all his other plays. He should just put this guy in the open. Jump slide into the room. Put the player in the open. If you, excuse me, if you want to get extra special with this, jump slide, fatigue wall jump, because a jump slide fatigues you. It's a jump mechanic. Jump slide in, fatigue wall jump, and that wall jump will push you back on top of where he's playing. You could literally stand on his head and just look straight down and shoot him in the back. But instead, Zerbo basically lets this player stay where he is. He lets this player use cover, and this player almost clutches. So something that I like to teach people in our VOD review classes on Thursday nights is something that I call clutch factor. Clutch factor is, are you giving someone an option to use against you? In this situation here, Zerbo lets this player use the knockdown non-stop. And because of that, this player has the option to possibly clutch. He can manage his health. Zerbo can't really manage his, considering he's playing off of, or rather stepped away from, what would give him cover, this wall here, right? If he played tight against the corner, Zerbo could rotate around it a lot easier, but because he's so set back, it takes longer for him to move in and out of the doorway. So this player here has a much easier time kind of moving in and out of the open. That Revenant, though, I don't know why he walked off of his cover. That was just not really smart. How to get good aim like on console? A lot of practice, homie. A lot of practice. Zerbo forcing the angle, keeping that player in the open. Awesome. Now this player's getting hit, so Zerbo's allowed to move through the open for free. Keep in mind, players taking damage want to look away. So if you wait to see him, you're never going to see him. That's why Zerbo's constantly pushing, because when he sees players taking damage, he keeps them in the open. He keeps making sure he can see them. Now, ooh, he heard, if you guys are listening with headsets, like this stream will be super, super useful. He's hearing audio, meaning he knows where someone should relatively be going, top floor, right? You hear someone going up, you know they're going to be on the top, right? So he's going to preemptively put something there for them. He's going to give them a little bit of a gift. That would have been awesome if that connected. Now, it didn't connect, all good. There's still no pressure on him, so he's going to make sure he's always looking. If someone on the zip line jumps off, you have a free 1v1 with the person you hear to your right. Oh, I saw him bottom left. He's not looking at me. I'm going to make sure I look at him. I'm going to keep him in the open. Jump slide to keep his momentum, right? Keep that slide going. Super undervalued mechanic. Dude, literally, I think almost every single clip, Zerbo has had an L-star. Almost every single clip, he's had an L-star. Such a good gun. Sees that player, swings, puts him in the open. Next player, jump slide, tried to. Locked him in the open, reset. Keep him in the open. Here's the swing. Awesome. player broke, he's going to make sure he keeps him in the open. Uses the jump slide to keep his momentum and keep moving towards that player.
Hold on.
Shut up. So there we go, right? Like literally every single clip that we've seen so far. And I'm never gonna try to dog on someone. I'm always just gonna try to kind of like highlight something that maybe a lot of people are missing out on. Zerbo, every single clip that we've seen, what is making Zerbo is simply the fact that his aim is so good that he will out aim almost everyone that he fights against. And because of that, he takes a lot of challenges face to face with players, and he stays in the open until someone dies. If you were a new player, or if you were someone trying to get better, Zerbo is one of the worst people that you could possibly try to learn from, because you are not him, and you don't have his type of aim. So you could never play the way that he's playing. Now, if you have good aim, then you can definitely over-challenge the way that he does. The main difference here, the next thing that would kind of like make Zerbo, is that because, you know, with his good aim, he's constantly not just over-challenging and locking everyone into the open, but he is constantly keeping himself moving in those challenges. A lot of his movements, or not movements, a lot of his plays is challenge you from where he is, and then now that you've looked away because you took damage, he's immediately jump sliding on top of you and forcing that re-engagement pretty much instantly again. So again, if you're an average player, we would not want to kind of like watch Zerbo gameplay and try to learn from it, because there's really not that much to learn from it other than just re-challenging players right away. Now, when we go and we watch someone like Fade, Fade is someone that I think is a million times better. And it's not because of the movement, it's because how he actually utilizes his movement. So let's just look at a very basic Legend gameplay, the last solo Apex player. This will probably be a really good one.
Kroger customers love the app. Why?
Can you do Omar SMS, please? He's high ping, Middle Eastern. I'll do it if we can, if we get through all of our players here today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 other people that we're going to review today. All slightly different gameplays, all different play styles. So we went from a very basic movement player to a very advanced high-level movement player. Now, before we even get started, something that is very different from Fade compared to Zerbo. Fade doesn't have nearly as good as aim as Zerbo does. Fade doesn't hit nearly as many one clips, and he also doesn't abuse L-Star or LMGs. He basically uses everything other than that. Ecstasy's also good. Ecstasy's like the controller Fade. Now, what makes Fade very different than most players is how he goes about constantly forcing situations, but also constantly resetting and creating new plays. So we'll start talking about it really soon. Fade abuses shotguns? I wouldn't necessarily say that. So right now,
crypto.
once Fade kind of gets himself all situated, I'm going to turn him down a little bit. Once Fade is a little comfortable and all situated, it's going to start looking for different players here.
They always go up so late.
And something that we are already seeing with Fade is as he's taking fights, and I mean Zerbo does the same thing too, just not nearly as well. Fade is going to force that person to be on his screen, right? He's going to basically swing a player. He's going to do damage, and then he's going to back off of the damage that he does. So Fade, unlike Zerbo, makes multiple plays per kill. So he's going to make that play, and even though he's winning that fight, he's going to back off, and he's going to re-swing that player. Here's the back off. There's the reswing.
Oh my god,
And
shot
because
twice.
Fade is constantly making a play and backing off, he's able to put out more consistent damage than Zerbo is. Being that he's managing his health. Every time he leaves that fight, he's able to basically keep up his health and fight with all of that extra health. Same thing here again. Look at how many times Fade has backed off. He probably hasn't, I don't think he's committed to a single one of his like swings. Let's actually count like how many, obviously he's, you know, 1v3 here, but let's kind of just, let's just quickly count how long or how many plays did it take him. So here's the full reset. Here's play number 1. It's the reset. Here's play number 2. Here's the reset. Here's play number 3.
So weird.
Here's his reset, re-engagement. That's play number 4.
Oh my god, shot twice.
Here's his reset. Here's a full reset. Play number 5. Here's play number 6. Reset. Play number 7. Reset. And here's play number 8. It took Fade 8 separate plays, 8 separate swings, and 7 separate times where he backed off to keep up his health. When we look at Zerbo, Zerbo makes 1 play. And the main difference why, Zerbo just has better aim on controller than Fade has on mouse and keyboard, right? Fade is a lot better at keeping up his health. Zerbo is just really good at sitting in front of you and pretty much hitting every single shot, and you're going to hit maybe 3 of yours.
An upgrade would be
Lucid.
Right. Low-key, I kind of wasn't paying attention. So, players in front of us. If we can shoot from where we are, we don't need to move. But obviously, a hurt 1 HP player doesn't want to keep looking at you. So right now, Fade is making sure he's going to keep this player in front of him. And he's going to make sure that he can keep doing damage. Now, right now, maybe he's hearing a lot of sounds. He's uncomfortable with he just said, I hear someone. He's not comfortable staying where he is, right? It's hard for him to keep putting in damage. Even though he's winning, he's just going to back off. And now with his reset, he'll be able to basically try all over again on this team. That's huge. Did he not grab the Mythic Mastiff? I'm not saying Fade has bad aim. I'm just saying it's not nearly as good as Zerbo. Insane head glitch. Where did he come from? What the heck? Insane. All right, sweet. Audio in front of us. We're looking in front of us for some damage or for some kills. Hard to see everything. Everything is kind of like everywhere.
You get stuck on nothing.
So
I just got stuck on literally nothing.
So Fade right now, instead of trying to commit or just try to play in something that he's not really understanding, he's just like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna walk around this. And by getting to the outside of the fight, it's no longer on my left, on my right, and in front of me. It's now just only in front of me. So now he's able to kind of just poke from where he is. And again, if you can shoot from where you are, you don't need to leave. Like, you don't need to move. Right now, he can't see anything. So now he's going to start making sure he's looking for some damage. And something also that Fade does a lot more than most players, he sets up almost like resets, or he sets up plays that could potentially work. It's hard to explain. He basically sets up situations where there's an option to do something, right? Not that Zerbo doesn't, but when we look at Zerbo basically just takes like lots of 1v1s. Fade looks to make a play where he can basically... it's so hard to explain. It's so hard to explain. I'll give up on this one. Now, Fade also plays a lot on the outsides of his fights. Zerbo plays in the middle of his fights. Fade is constantly on the outside of everything. And again, when you're on the outside, everything's in front of you. If you think of it like a big bullseye. Here, I'll do it like this. If you think of it like a big bullseye. Like this. Right? Maybe this is the middle. Okay. I'm going to do it like this. How do you spell bullseye? Bullseye. There we go. This works. That's not what I wanted. Is there just like a massive image that I can use? You guys see this?
Ugh, I should select an upgrade.
I guess this works. If we look at this, open in new window. There we go. Look at this big bullseye here. The inside of where all the points are, this is where all the damage is going to be getting dealt, right? When you're in here, it's really easy to be constantly shooting your gun, always be getting damage. But at the same time, because you're in the middle of it, there's people on the outside shooting you, there's people behind you shooting you, there's people in front of you shooting you. So as you start working your way, the outsides of this fight, especially out here, everything is now in front of you if you're over here. So it's a lot easier to manage incoming damage, and it's a lot easier to kind of just play around what's happening. So when we go back and we start watching Fade play again, what Fade is constantly doing is he's always putting himself on the outside, damaging and working his way in. And now that he's in, he backs all the way to the outside to avoid getting wrapped on, to avoid getting pushed and swung. Forces that player to stay stuck in the open. Oh, come on now, bro. Right in the middle of the kill. Oh, insane, bro. What are the odds? Fade is super proactive. He makes situations happen rather than accepting a situation in front of him and fighting on someone else's terms. Exactly. Exactly. Now Fade comes again, re-puts this player in front of him.
I thought it was 3.
Awesome.
Bro.
Need to recharge my shield.
Alright, so right now, player in front of him. Crossing through the open, and because Fade has the first shot, he commits to the peek. Typically, you wouldn't stay in the open peeking someone because it's a 50-50, but if you have the first shot, you're already starting on such a massive advantage. And again, Zerbo does that too. Like, whenever Zerbo catches someone first, he, like, commits. Oh, I don't like being in front of 2 people. I'm going to reset. Oh, but because I'm resetting, I can just instantly re-engage this fight. So this is actually a really cool one. And I tried to teach this inside of the 1v1 coaching sessions. Obviously, Fade does it like mechanically insanely well, but the concept is the exact same. Fade right now fighting this player, right? I get this damage on this player. Oh, maybe I don't want to stay in front of this person for whatever reason. Honestly, Fade, being that this person's one shot and he's full health, he could just stay here and literally punch him in the face and kill this player instantly. But let's just pretend there's another player in this gunfight with him. Fade might kill this lifeline, but now he has a full HP person behind him, right? So Fade right now, he's going to back off by leaving. This would be like the super glide away from the player. So Fade is the first one to leave and keep up his health. Fade is also the first one to come back and start shooting first. Now, you always want to be the first one to do something. You want to be the first to peek and put pressure. Other person looks away. You can't touch them. You want to be the first to move up. You're the first to put that pressure back on. The other person's now reacting. Are you left? Are you right? Are you up? Are you down? Are you back? Are you in front? Are you inside out? You don't know, right? Now Fade is the first to, again, manage his health, re-swing. So Fade leaves first, comes back first. And because he always knows what he's going to do next, the other person's always one step behind reacting. Fade and Ecstasy are the same player. One is just controller. They play literally the exact same way. Need to keep this person in front of me. I'm going to use movement as I move through the open, make myself less vulnerable in a very open situation. I'm going to reset to avoid any damage. Now I'm going to go for a trick shot. Awesome. Because he kept up his health by taking that step back. So again, Fade is insanely good at being the first to push up, making any type of damage happen, little or big, and then being the first to back off so that he has that same health to keep playing with.
What is he doing?
That's why Fade is so good. It's so hard to kill him because he's always the first to move up and he's always the first to move back.
Lawful. What the f is that?
All right, last Fade clip, and then we're gonna watch someone similar, but in my opinion, way overrated. He plays very similar to Fade. His gameplay and his movement is just like next level. Oh, dude, I wasn't even full screen. I'm tripping. My bad, guys.
Bro,
My bad,
I
chat.
heard someone heal.
All right, players in front of me. No one looking at me. Now they're looking at me. I need to make them look away so that I can get closer.
40.
Grenade even connects too, so awesome. Now I can use that damage to keep these players in front of me, knowing that they don't have as much health to like keep working with. All right, more people in front of me. Can I get any damage here? Oh, I can. I'm gonna make sure I get that kill, force him into the open. I'm not gonna wait to see what he does.
Bro.
Oh, not working.
I can't move.
Fight is very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna commit. I'm just gonna practice leaving. I'm gonna make sure that I can keep playing the game. Full reset. Zerbo in this situation, everyone in this situation would have such a hard time getting this reset. Because a lot of people would overcommit. A lot of people would fight until someone dies, which is what we see a lot with Zerbo.
Why is that there? God, I'm a team player.
Slick Taco with the $5 super chat. What do you think Apex needs to bring it back to the top of the stream charts? Currently sitting at 24. Dude, number one thing that Apex would need would simply be just newer updates, newer guns, new maps, new unique events. Apex already has a lot of game modes. Why don't we have a playlist of gun run? TDM, we have TDM, but like, and we have gun run, but like shotties and snipers only. Why is there no, just like game modes that refresh? Look at Fortnite. Fortnite has like the biggest player base out of like any game. It's because they have like 500 different like game modes that you can play, and you can make all of your own custom stuff and your own custom maps. If Apex just had an option for new regular content, the player base would come back. And they also need to stop changing. Are they going to cater to the pros or are they going to cater to the casuals? They need to just pick one and stick to it, and then make side content for the other group. In my opinion, make the game for pro players, for competitive players, and then have fun casual game modes like Fortnite. Fortnite has builds and no builds. They have ranked and they have pubs. And then they have all of the other shit that you want to possibly play as well. So that, in my opinion, that's what would actually bring Apex back. So, competitive game with options for casuals. All right, sweet. So that'll be our last Fade clip. I don't really think anything crazy happened in that last one. Now, the next person on this list, Lamic999. By far, like the best Watson in the world. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe there's another Watson who's better, but I haven't seen anyone on YouTube. Maybe there's one that just doesn't make content, but Lamek, best Watson content creator that I know of. Let's watch. POV, you've caught 60,000 people in your fences.
When you can set up reliable Spectrum internet in minutes, you can feel at home in minutes.
All right, gang, bear with me. While we watch this ad, I'm going to go take a leak real quick. And what I'm actually going to do, I have to run ads on Twitch anyways. So I'm just going to run a quick 1-minute ad on Twitch, and then we'll be right back after I take a quick pee break. Oh, all right. How do I know if the ads are over is the question. Which? My dashboard. This I'm live. All right, are the ads over? They'll be over any second. All right.
Oh god.
Ambien just said in the chat, Dev need to bring back arenas. That's what made me decent at first at the game. Arenas on, dude, I totally agree, but I agree for a different reason. I used to do 1v1 coaching sessions in arenas, and it made the experience so much better for coaching. But in terms of like a game mode, it kind of sucked because people could just abuse shit, and it just made the game unplayable. All right, Watson 999, the #1 Watson in the world, and it is because his movement is great, but the way that he controls fights is even greater. By far, one of the most advanced players when it comes to understanding how he can guarantee, or rather, how he can basically keep himself playing by managing his health at the same time as creating plays from like a stationary position. So right now, rule that we kind of already talked about in the past, beginning of the stream, if you can shoot from where you are, shoot from where you are. You don't need to push if you can shoot from where you are. Now what Zerbo's really good at doing is creating situations that he can be very aggressive from. And the way that he goes about doing it is he sets up safe spaces and then he moves away from them so that he can play and almost like bring people into it. So we'll talk about it a little bit more once we kind of like get back and we rewatch this beginning of the clip. Insane aim. Sees that there's still someone playing up there. How is he going to play this? He's going to go into the corner. Oh, he's actually going to set up a fence.
Scared. You're so scared. You're so scared.
Keeps his body moving. Creates space from this player. Resets. Re-engages too. Oh, that would have been awesome if he hit that. He's not going to re-peek, so he's going to swing out. He's going to force the angle. Huge. So, what is Lamek doing as a Watson that most players don't do? First off, what Lamek does is he sets up what I like to call like a safe space. A space that you can basically, one, defensively play from. It's going to be hard for people to push, but a spot that you're able to kind of leave from, right? So essentially right here, I'll kind of just fast forward. He sets up his safe space. If people want to push it, they're going to have a really hard time. So right here, people just have a really hard time pushing this because the fence is right off the zip line. The zip line forces you into the fences, right? Now that he's basically able to like just get all of these like freer kills and like force all these situations, what he does really well is he's allowed to basically push out of it and go and fight other people. So in a situation where most people don't want to fight a defensive player, you need to be the one going for those players. This is what we saw a lot with Fade. Fade is always moving forward and basically putting people in front of him. Lamek does the same thing, unless he can see them from where he is. So right now, I know I have all these people below me. I know I can get damage, but I can't shoot them from up top. So I'm going to make sure I come down, and I'm going to do a lot of work here. Now that it's uncomfortable, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to move back into my safe space. Realistically, right now, what he would want to do is go up and basically play those zip line, or rather play above. But if you missed it, someone already went up, so he actually can't like go and play in that area. Right? You just saw those knuckle clusters from the fuse that's playing up there. Right? But typically, he would be holding a room, like kind of like how he is right now, and then basically not allowing people to play where he is because he has this safe space that he can play within. And Ethan push out of.
I took out an enemy. A necessary evil to win.
We'll kind of skip through this because we already watched this. Blackie, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Much love.
I've got a mobile respawn beacon.
I look very similar to FC25 content creator called Ruth Foot Market. Who's that? I don't even know what FC25 is. What is that? Football Club 25? Huge stuff. That would have been an awesome no-scope. Holster his gun to move faster. Needs to reset, so he's just super focused on getting out of that dangerous situation. Back into a safe space. And now that he's here, just plays super aggressive. Just keeps putting these players in front of him, especially with all the fences that he has down. And again, what he is doing, he sets up this safe space and then basically leaves home. And when he comes, and then he always has a place that he can come back to. So if you think of it in the way that Fade plays, right? Fade is basically playing on the outside of the fight and going in. Makes his play back to the outside. Lamek is almost the complete opposite. He plays on the inside. He sets up a safe space on the inside, and then he goes outward and fights everyone else. But he always has a spot that he can kind of come back home to, right? So Lamek, again, plays very aggressively from a safe spot, leaves, plays ultra aggressive, and then comes back home so that he can basically play safe, reset, and, you know, basically whatever he needs to do to get back into the game. Thank you for following over on Twitch, Mr. Drippy Quit. Much love. Oh, FIFA, but they changed it a couple years ago to FC. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Now, something also that Lamek does is he puts all of these traps behind players, right? What a lot of people tend to do is they put like sideways walls so that you can't walk through. Lamek, I think I called him Fade. Lamek puts nodes in front of him and then stretches them past where his opponent's playing. He basically puts them behind him. Who would win in an endgame, Fade or Lamek? Lamek, 100% Lamek would win. I think Fade's movement is a lot better. but I think Lamech has better understandings of how to control a fight. Fade has a better understanding of how to stay alive, but Lamech can control a lot better. All right, so now kind of setting up, maybe not necessarily maybe he's setting up just traps, areas to kind of play around people. Not working, gonna back off, gonna reset. And again, he has other traps already set up. He has a trap at the very top door. So now, odds are, he's probably gonna reset off this door, back up, create space. He's not gonna let these players get on top of him. And then with that space created, he's gonna be able to, again, continue to reset if he needs, bring people to where he wants them to be, and then he's going to make a play. Odds are, right now, he's going to set up that trap upstairs. He's going to get a free kill. Then he's going to back off. Got stuck on the door. All good happens to the best of us. There's his out there. There's his trap. Here's the back off. Now he's going to be able to completely reset. He's probably going to go back to his home where he set up. And now, from here, people will either come to him, or he'll start going to them, and he'll force it. It's like they don't see a zip line. How do you not see these fences? Like, how does the whole team not see a fence as they come up, bro? I don't.
Are you ready?
Awesome. It's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy how we can just guess what he's going to do, and it's literally just spot on perfect. Much love, Giovanni. Appreciate you, homie. We'll definitely make more content like this in the future.
I'm going down there again. Every time I go down there, they try to get me.
Gets the whole team back in. Awesome. Now, again, players don't want to typically go and push you. Typically. So they'll kind of poke and peek at a distance. So knowing that, okay, players probably won't be come and look for me right now. I have to kind of go out of my way to go look for these players. How is he going to go about doing this?
Oh my god.
Not working. Oh, I don't like it. I'm going to back off. I'm going to reset. I'm going to go back home. And I'm going to see if I can play from home. He almost makes you want to play Watson. Dude, if you can, I would. So much fun. Now, again, if you can shoot from where you are, shoot from where you are. When you can't shoot from where you are, you need to put players in front of you. Here he goes. Now he's putting these players in front of him. I'm going to set up my trap. I'm going to disengage like Fade. Keep up my health. Back off. Re-engage. That's the back off. Here's the health management. Here's the re-engagement. All right, here's the health management. Here's the re-engagement. I'm going to force players into the open. There we go. Now, when it comes to playing like this, disengaging, re-engaging. Disengaging to keep up your health, re-engaging, forcing the fight. Something that you need to understand. You can do this as basic or as advanced as you want. You can have the craziest Fade movement, or you can have the most basic district movement. Obviously, the more advanced you play, the better the outcome. But starting off as a beginner, don't think that you have to play like these guys mechanically, because you don't. The only thing that's important is that you are thinking. Did I just fart with my mouth when I said think? It went like weird. Important part is that when you are taking these fights, you're simply thinking about, if I stay committed like Zerbo, I'm going to keep taking that damage. Now look at these players. Some of the best players in the world. How many times did they leave a fight? Like 20 times, because they need to stay alive so that they can keep shooting. So as you're playing, practice thinking, what can I use as basic or as advanced as you want to get myself into the fight? And then what can I do as basic or as advanced to get myself back out of the fight? Here is something, though, that 99.9999999% of players do not understand. It's not about leaving after you've got shot. It's about leaving before you get shot. Let's rewatch this Zerbo clip really quick. All right. As Zerbo is pushing in, Zerbo makes a play and then immediately leaves. He doesn't commit to see if he's going to win or lose. Here's his play. There's the disengagement. I'm going to make my play and then I'm going to leave before anything happens to me. And now whatever I've done is there to happen. It's kind of like I'm going to throw a grenade to kind of get like initial damage and move in, right? It's kind of like the same thing here. I'm going to make my play here. I'm going to leave so that I can keep my health. And now I can play off of the thing that I set up. Here's the re-engagement. Here's the play. There's the immediate disengagement. Like, I keep saying Zerbo, I think, by accident. We're watching Lamek right now, my bad. Lamek got that knock. Look at how much health he has. He still has 175 HP. He's basically playing on blue shield right now. That's a lot of health to still play with. The time to kill an Apex is crazy long. He could still probably challenge another player and kill him. What's he going to do? He's going to back off. Now his health is going to stay up. Now he's going to set himself up for the next play without needing to heal. Right? Still hasn't healed. Still has tons of health. Now that he's managed himself so much, now that he's backed off before he gets shit on, he never gets shit on. He has tons of health to play with, and he keeps playing off of that health. And now he's able to just play nonstop without ever needing to heal. Now again, you can do this very advanced by using like Lamek, Fade, Ecstasy type movement, or you can play it very basically, like an Imperial Howl playstyle, which I think is our next player. We'll watch one more clip just for fun, and then we'll hop into the next legend. Or we'll hop into our next pro player. He makes you want to play Watson. I don't know. He makes everyone wants to play Watson. He's so good, dude. He's so good. Shooting from where he can shoot. All right, walking up into this building. Hey, what's going on, Mom? What's up, Mom? I can see that you're watching from Fred's account. Love you. It's the mouth farts causing the brain farts, says my mom in the chat. I love you. Love you so much, Mom. Excited to come home soon. So as Lamek walks up into a fight, he's not just walking up to deal damage, right? He's walking up to control a lot of situations. Key thing with Lamek compared to everyone else, he controls the fights. So as he's walking up into a building, he's walking up into a choke, he's walking up into a whatever, what he's constantly doing is he's making sure that he can move up, but people can't move back into him, right? He can move up and he can move back, but players can't move into him. So he's almost always going to set up a fence, pushing into what he wants to take a fight with. And here's, like we talked about in the very beginning, he sets up a home base, I guess is like what you could call it, that he can always back off to and then play and reset from. So he always plays very forward, but plays where he can back off and he can't really be touched that well. Tons of damage. He's got that gen just constantly healing him in the back. That's why he doesn't heal that often when he's kind of like not really taking fights head on, like face to face. And now again, he's just going to kind of set himself up and just play off of all these different fences and stuff. Looking for players, not waiting for players to come to him.
Where did that guy go?
Here's audio right side. All right, sweet. So that'll be like the end of our Lamek kind of watch. So what can we take away from Lamek? Right, a couple things that we can take away from his playstyle. Let me get a drink first. Nice. Something that Lamek is constantly doing. As a Watson player, set up a spot that you can always leave, come back to, and basically have like a home, right? Or the home base, like Drippy Quit kind of put in the chat. Have a home base that you can always leave from, come back to. I'm about to have a Twitch ad go off, so I'm gonna put this on snooze really quick. Snooze for 5 minutes. So I have a home base that you can always kind of play in, leave, come back to. Now, as we're leaving our fights, we want to make sure as a Lambic style player that we are constantly shooting from where we can shoot. As players take that damage and want to look away, we have to move forward. As we actually move forward onto those teams, it's not about getting on him and zerboing out and just shooting nonstop because you have the aim to do so. Lambic and Fade, that style of fighting, is constantly moving in, make a very quick small play, deal some small or possibly a large amount of damage if you can, manage to do it, back off before you take loads of damage in return. Rinse and repeat. Move in, make that thing happen, back off, reset. Move in, make a small play, back off, reset. Move in, make a small play, back off, reset. And as you are feeling the pressure being put onto you, back off into your home base. Now, aside from playing a home defensive aggressive play style, how is he playing on the offensive? Walking up into a fight, placing fences in front of him so that he can always move up. He can make that play. But again, remember, Lambic and Fade, they don't play in and stay in. They play in. What do? Back off, manage their health. So when he fences up moving forward, play, back off, manage your health, keep healthy. Players can't be aggressive towards you off of your defensive, step back. So this is like the key thing that separates Lambic from every other player in the game. He is so good at making sure he can do something. He's also insanely good at making sure you can't do something. So keep that in the back of your mind if you want to play that type of play style. Now, the next pro player we have on the list is It's Timmy, but It's Timmy plays very similar to Fade and Lambic. So we're going to just push him towards the end. Let's instead watch Verhulst, a very mechanically skilled Zerbo style type of player. But I think Verhulst is very different compared to Zerbo in the sense that he is a lot better at managing his health. He's a lot better, kind of like Lambic, at making plays, and he's really good at making sure people can't play against him. So let's give this a watch. I've broke the meta with Sheila, TSM ALGS scrims. Do we want to watch a pro scrim? Hold on, I'm gonna just click on his account. I would say min/max, the best character in Apex. Yeah, I don't think that's a guide. I think it's literally just him playing, so this might be a decent one. Adolf Rizzler. Oh my god, I teamed up with the Rizzler. 1000 damage in 2 games. Let's give this one a watch. This should be a really good one. All right, here comes the next Twitch ad. Twitch is like literally telling me nonstop that it wants to put up an ad, so we're gonna have to do this so that it doesn't interrupt our next pro player. Bear with me here, Twitch stream. Otherwise, you're gonna get cut off midstream. So we're gonna play ad while we go through this this YouTube ad. All right, so if you're watching over here on YouTube, what's going on? You're not getting interrupted because, well, YouTube doesn't force ads down your throat the way that Twitch does. Gotta love Twitch. So here, we got a 40-second ad break over on Twitch, so we'll be nice and we'll wait for those Twitch guys to come back. And in the meantime, we can chat, we can hang out, and we can shout out the one, the only lifestyle material with the fat sub on Twitch. Much love. For some reason, it's not telling me the details of the sub, so I'm gonna assume it's an amazing Twitch Prime sub. Gang, if you're watching over on Twitch, you're not even gonna see this because you have an ad right now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 seconds till Twitch is back. 2, 1. Welcome back, Twitchers. If you enjoyed that ad and you don't want to continue to see those ads, you can be just like Mr. Lifestyle Material, who had the Twitch Prime sub. If you got a crown in your name, that means you got a free Prime sub on Twitch. Make sure to drop that on the stream. You'll be able to watch the rest of the stream ad-free. And for the next month, you can watch the entire streams ad-free, no interruptions. Just chill, hang out here with me, and see this sexy face. Not based at all. Anyways, I didn't even see this until right now. Apex City Gaming, oh, gifted the Prime sub, or gifted the sub. I'm tripping. That's why I didn't see it properly. Apex City Game with the fat gifted sub, much love, bro. And Slick Taco also with a $5 super chat again. You're clearly one of the better players in hands. Own best Apex, hands down. I think is what he meant to say. It looks different on my screen. Apex coach, why have you not gone pro? Just curious. Mechanical skills. I don't have the mechanical skills to go pro. I have the game sense. I don't have the mechanical skills. I'll get my ass whooped all day, every day, because my aim sucks. My movement sucks. Together is just awful. Much love, homie. Thank you so much for the fat $5 super chat and the gifted sub over on Twitch, Mr. Gaming Lifestyle. Anyways, back into it. Now, Verhulst. Very good player. Let's hop into it.
Killed one.
Landing off drop. Dude, something with Verhulst. He's so good at managing his health.
I re-knocked him. Safe for rest here, I think.
Now, something with Verhulst here. Verhulst, remember before when we were watching Lamek? Something I wanted to drill into everyone's head. When it comes to making plays, it's important that you manage your health. The way that Lamek and Fade do it, they move in, make a play, they move away so that they don't get touched. Verhulst does it very similarly, but because, remember how we said, you can do this as basic or as advanced as you want. Advanced being mechanic-wise, basic being, just like walk around wise, right? Verhulst here being controller and being pretty much 99% aim, he doesn't have any of that movement capability that those other guys do. So why is his health always up? Why is he just constantly healthy and always shooting his gun? Because he manages his health not with movement and cover, but with basic movement and cover. Give this a watch. As he lands, grabs a gun, what is the first thing that Verhulst does, knowing that there's two people behind him? Steps into cover. Is ready to set himself up where if he gets shot, he can drop down and he can leave. So what happens here? No one's looking at me. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to guarantee this knock. That's my very basic reset. And here's my disengagement again. The re-engagement, back off, disengagement. Makes him waste his ammo. Gets that free knock again. Or actually, rather the elim, because he thirsted him.
Safe for rest here, I think.
Lets his teammates pick him up.
Nice.
Awesome.
I got drone in non-sec.
I'm gonna slide down.
Honestly, could get you bred with just game sense alone. I mean, yes and no. I just don't have the mental capacity to play solo nonstop. And again, I've been top 20 pred in the past. I've even solo queued to pred on controller without, oh, my bad, with aim assist. Solo queued to pred on controller on PC also. So it's definitely not that like I can't do it. I just don't have the patience to do it. I also just don't have anyone to play with to actually like play for pred consistently. And my mechanics are not good enough on mouse and keyboard to solo queue back to pred. It's my aim isn't as consistent as it was on controller.
I killed one.
Now same thing here, Verhulst, as he's shooting his gun, right? Engages with the player here. Oh, not looking at me, so I can hard challenge him. Go back into cover to keep up my health. With that extra health, when I go to re-peek, I'll have extra stuff to work with. Now, off of everything he just did, he's starting to walk himself forward. He's starting to work his way back into this fight. He needs to make sure that he can keep shooting. A lot of controller players, people who aren't as movement aggressive, they tend to just stay where they are. And because of that, they're never able to keep shooting. So as he's constantly poking and peeking, he's using that as a chance to move up. Now, not every break is a reason to swing. Not every break is a reason to swing. Not every knock is even a reason to swing. Sometimes that big knock is just a really good option or opportunity to take a big step forward. You don't want to have to run through the open for 20 seconds. But if you can run, when everyone's looking at you, but if you can run through the open for 15 seconds and make the majority of the distance for free, the next time you get that big break, it'll be a lot easier for you to push. So as Verholst's team is doing damage, they're walking up off of it. He's 1 HP. Well, I can't keep shooting them if they walk away. I got to make sure I keep working my way closer here. Now, he doesn't really have that much ammo, so I don't know how committed he'll play to this. Here's his cover. Tight to his cover. Back into cover. Keeps his health up. Plays off of head glitches nonstop. Right, so he's always putting himself in some situation where he can just do one simple thing. Duck into cover. Sidestep into cover. Take a step back, off of the head glitch, back into cover. He's always one small movement away from managing his health.
Do one shot. I knocked one. Nice.
Always moving forward. Awesome.
One guy close on your right.
Constantly finding spots that look at where he hears sound coming from. Oh, does he get that? Unfortunate lip. Oh, he even hit him on flesh too with that last shot. That was so close.
Wait, I just heard some loud footsteps. You got a team up here.
All right, so right now, he's probably going to move back. The fact that he doesn't have that much cover where he is, that one team can re-peek left, right, in the middle, as much as they want. Verholst can really only re-peek off of this one box, meaning his angles are very limited. That other teams are very optional, right? They have so many more options than he does. So right now, understanding that it's really hard for him to put pressure, but it's really easy for them to put pressure. If they stay here and take damage, it's too easy to get pushed. Verholst and his team is probably going to back off. An other team won't be able to shoot, so they'll step forward, is what I'm guessing. If they don't step forward, Verholst will still step back, right? And with being set back, and it being easier to manage his health, he'll create some basic play and move forward off of it.
Good ult. Yeah, that's a good ult.
Unless he can get some good nades, there's a good reason to push up here. I still think he's going to have to move back. I don't see... Oh, it's that move forward.
Knocked one off.
He had that move forward. Awesome.
I'm getting back in there, baby.
Disengagement. Here's the re-engagement. Has to disengage. Re-engagement followed by the disengagement.
I'm going back up.
Perfect. So now again, something that is separating him, a controller player, from Zerpo, another controller player, is that Evan, or, Verholst, is constantly going back into his cover, re-challenging, cover, re-challenge, cover, re-challenge, cover, re-challenge. Zerbo, swing, shoot, 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 turn, shoot, 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 turn, shoot, 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 shoot. One magged everybody, L-star. So, super, super basic. The concept is pretty much the exact same with almost every single style of Apex that you can think of. You need to do something that lets you play forward. Now, realistically, ulting on top of them may not have been the best idea because now your teammates have to walk up onto. And if you don't get a good ult where that team, for instance, you ult onto them, if they don't get launched back, right, and they don't get disoriented, when you land here, they can just swing you. So your Newcastle ults almost have to land on a player to stun and throw them backwards to be very, very effective. But regardless, they were having a hard time moving up and they were having a hard time getting that break or that damage to make the team look away. So Evan's ult was what made that team basically not be able to watch while they made the move forward. The hardest part about Apex is setting yourself up to force damage. put people in front of you. Make sure you can shoot and make sure you can connect your shots. Fade does that by swinging players, right? What's his name? Lamech does that by setting up a home and basically letting people play close so that he can swing out on them, right? Evan does that by usually using guns to make people look away and then he gets close, or uses an ultimate to make people look away so that he can get close. Kenny, man, thank you for the sub over on YouTube. Much love.
Oh, this team needs to get slammed.
Honestly, could
Go
get.
slam,
Oh,
boys.
wish my aim was half as good as
I'll
Verhol's.
go
Honestly,
up
bro,
here.
I think a lot of people can do it. Yo, what's going on, Halo? How you doing, homie? Still #1 bit donator is crazy.
I'm going in.
Here's his ult. Awesome. Disorients players. Gives himself the chance to force this. Places cover really well. And if he's not comfortable, he's gonna have to drop down. Right? If you can't take damage, if you can't keep damage from landing on you, you have to remove yourself from that fight so that you don't have damage being forced onto you.
Yeah, to win that.
No pressure on him. He's going to make sure he goes and re-engages, especially off of the damage and the knocks.
I think you ran like a good.
Oh, nades.
Yeah, BL, so a team is making them look away. I think he's getting thirded right now. So after this ult, they're going to want to go to the roof. Get on as high as possible so that they can't get pushed from bottom and top if this is a third party. And now that they're on the roof, now they can overlook everything walking up over to them. But maybe it's not a third.
Where does this guy go?
Bug.
Oh, over here.
Bug, stop. Warning, whore. Alright, so now we know that we're taking a fight. We want to make sure that we're moving up on them. We can't keep shooting them if they look away whenever we deal damage. So we have to close that gap. Here's the gap being closed. Gun down, Evan. Come on now, bro. You of all people know that you move faster when your gun is holstered. Is this team ulting to hold them off? Why are they... That was a weird ult. Now, a lot of people don't know this. If you Newcastle ult a Newcastle ult, you break the ult that you're Newcastle ulting. So you actually break someone's ultimate, you waste theirs, and you push them away from it while giving yourself cover. So if you ever see a Newcastle who's ulted, literally ult his ult, and you basically took everything away from him. It's so broken. It's the biggest Newcastle counter, other than Crypto. I would say Newcastle countering Newcastle is like the best counter.
Above us.
Players above us, we need to make sure that we move out. Otherwise, they're going to drop down and they're going to control us. Or we need to push them back so that we can move away. For this team, we're going to go back, and I want you guys right now to think about what that team just did to Verholz's team. Think about what we've been talking about is how you go about managing your health and how you go about being able to keep fighting and keep shooting. I want you to think about what we've been saying. We're going to go back. We're going to rewatch this clip. What did this team not do?
Behold.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max.
This is so cool.
Dude, so many ads, man. Okay. I guess we're just gonna... Oh. Did my internet die? Did stream crash? What's going on here? They never healed? Healing's not the issue. Healing's not the issue. No, I have no ad blockers. Alright, so team wants to put pressure. Team wants to fight Verholst and their guys. Snake Eyes in the chat actually just got it. This team drops down. And even though they're winning, right? They're doing their damage. But what happens here? This team never backs off. This team never gives themselves an option where if things don't go the way that they want, they can just take one step, and be safe again. So what ends up happening is they start by winning. Dude, what's going on here, man? What's going on with the loading? Come on now. I have half a gig up and down speed, so I don't know why I'm like getting all this like lag. This team starts looking for them, which is awesome. That this team above is being proactive. But when they drop down, there's nothing that they can do to keep their health up. They're also dropping down in the middle of the open. So even though you're winning, you just put yourself in a situation where you're going to take nonstop damage. And that's exactly what happens. Right now, they drop down in the open nonstop, never goes back into cover. So even though they had someone one shot, they ended up getting knocked for it. Right? And now the last person has to take a 1v3 against like 3 full HP people. Impossible to win. So just thinking about Fade, right? What's Fade always doing? Swings in, damage, swings out. That's what manages his health, not being in front of those players by leaving. What does Verholst do to manage his health? Peek out, damage, go back into cover. Peek out, damage, go back into cover. The cover's what's managing his health, not the act of leaving the fight, like Fade. This team never left the open. So Verholst played his cover, managed it the whole time, and because he managed it, he never had to heal. And he kept fighting, fighting, and fighting. And because of that, he picked up a couple kills. Last clip, and then we'll switch on over to Scrappy. Another different legend, and then I think we're going to wrap up stream today.
I killed him over there.
All right, right now, there's a fight that they want to engage with. If they don't look at it, if they don't poke at it, while the team's looking at them, they're going to hold Verholst back from moving up. So Verholst is constantly poking if he can. If he can shoot, he's shooting. Realizing, you know what, I'm kind of getting looked at by everyone right now. Let me just get out of the open. I'm going to back away from something. If I'm not comfortable being the one moving, then I'm going to be the one comfortable by leaving. Constantly engaged. No pressure on him, so he can keep shooting.
We're jumping off. Respawn right behind us, boys. Slam. Got my door. Kill this guy.
That's unfortunate. What's up, Rules with Advantage? How we doing, man? Big winter today? Oh, we're chilling, man. We got lots of snow dropping in today, so.
Behind you.
All right, sweet. And now again, right? Just like Fade, always making sure, like, if there's no one looking at you, you're making sure you're looking at everyone else. Awesome.
We got somebody right in
Now,
front
the
of us.
main thing that's really separating Verholst from most players is how good, one, his aim is, obviously, but also just how good his basic skills of just not getting shit on are.
Come.
He does a really good job of making sure that he always has health to play with. And if someone is trying to move on him,
Did you just glide across?
he's just not going to give them the option to keep forcing that damage. Remember, what lets people force damage is just simply moving forward on them. If you walk up on someone, you put them in front of you and you can just shoot them nonstop. So right now, as he's shooting from where he can shoot. If he can shoot from where he is, he doesn't need to push. He just shoots.
One guy in the back.
But once he shoots and realizes that guy doesn't want anything to do with me, then I'm going to have to walk up on him. This guy over here can't shoot him from that far away if he looks away. So he's probably going to do something really soon, like just something basic like shooting his gun or nading and holding him from peeking and use that to walk up. Bugs, you are half on the table and you're half on my lap. Make up your mind. Insane damage.
Pathfinder 1 HP. Go zip up and kill that guy. He's 1 HP down there. He's 1 HP here. Oh, crap.
Oh, I just missed what happened because I had to cough.
Last team above us.
All right, how does he get this dub? How does he hit this dub?
We gotta try and get up somehow. Castle cracked.
Castle's cracked. Castle has to look away. Verholst looking to keep moving up, but he can't because of the Bangalore ult. I think that was his team's ult, though, so now they're going to start working their way up off of this.
Walking up left here.
Closing the gap so that he's not peeking and reacting to open damage. He's forcing that damage. Everyone's hurt. He's using that to swing on in. They have a lifeline, though. Oh. Oh. I don't think they get this dub. I think he just finishes with the 5k. He pretty much just finished with the 5k. We can all just assume that's what happened. So let's give this a quick little rewatch here, and then we'll move on over to Scrappy, and then we'll wrap up stream. Actually, I'll do a couple I think we'll do a couple 1v1s to end stream.
This guy's cracked. Winnable. Oh, cracked.
All right, so
Pathfinder 1 HP. Go.
check out Rogue. We'll definitely check him out. Maybe not today because we've spent so long kind of watching pros, but we'll check him out maybe next stream.
Last team above us. Last team. We gotta try and get up somehow.
Actually, no, I think we'll save Scrappy for another stream also, just because we've been watching VODs for so long.
Castle cracked.
All right, so obviously, right, we're dealing our damage, we're working our way up. This ult though is kind of keeping us from moving forward right now. Something that I'm actually not so happy to see from our Bangalore, and rather from this team in general, I think they could have easily won this. As they're throwing down this Bangalore ult, everyone's health is basically full. You don't have to be full HP to take a fight. So if everyone just pops a cell, everyone is pretty much full HP. And with that, we could be actually walking up off of this Bangalore ult. Remember, what's the number one thing that lets you deal damage? Forcing people into the open, swinging people, putting them on your screen, not waiting to see if they stick out into the open. So right now, if we have this ult keeping people from looking, we could be walking up with this. And by walking up, we'll have an easier opportunity of forcing people into the open. Now they miss that. So now when they start walking around, they're not putting pressure on this team. Because there's no pressure on this team trying to fight them, especially since they're up top, right? A lot harder to push than being down low, very easy to push. When Verholst is running around, while the team is running around, there's simply nothing keeping this team from watching them. So that ult made that team not look. That was a free chance to walk up and force damage. Now there's nothing keeping them from looking. Now they're taking damage as they start crossing up. Now, major thing that happens right here. Let's kind of look at our map here, top right corner. As our, one team is pushing down into us, what we're doing is we're not holding those angles against, actually we are holding. We got shit on. I just realized that they lost all of their health. They lost all of their health because of that. Now they're getting swung because of it. So why are we getting so shit on? What made us get so shit on? Let's watch their health here. Does it go down in increments or does it go down all at once?
We gotta try and get up somehow.
Here's the Bangalore ult pushing everyone back. We know that this ult is going to push everyone back. We should stop shooting, stop taking damage for no reason. We should focus now on healing so that when the ult goes off, we can walk up right away. We don't. We keep fighting because of it. Because we keep fighting, we can't move off of a good advantage. All right, let's watch their health right now. This is when it goes down. Lifeline's health goes down all at once instantly. What does that say? It means that we're standing in the open and we're shooting nonstop. And because we shoot nonstop, we take damage nonstop. So that's what happened right there. If he had pulled the Verholst, poked out damage cover, damage cover, damage cover, damage cover, he could still shoot the whole magazine, but he wouldn't receive an entire magazine in return. So because he got so shit on, now everyone wants to push for that kill because Lifeline can no longer play Apex.
Castle weak.
Now, Bangalore is actually managing their health. It's going down in small increments.
Give me 1 HP, give me 1 HP.
This really came down to that lifeline took too much damage for no reason, and basically let this team swing up because of it.
This guy's cracked. Winnable.
And that's really what it kind of comes down to in the highest highest ranked lobbies is one person takes too much damage, and because they can't fight, everyone pushes and you just cannot stop the push. There's really not much that Verholz could do right there other than have perfect aim and just like knock everyone. But G7 isn't really a knocking kind of gun. It's like a poking kind of gun, right? To kind of keep people at bay. So with that being said, we'll kind of wrap up there. Main thing to take away from Verholst is make sure that you're always shooting, right? Always poking. And because you're always poking, people are never looking at you, and you're using that to try and walk up a little bit. Mr. Wick, bro, thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Much love. How long have we been streaming? We've been streaming for almost 3 hours. I don't know if I want to do 1v1s. I'm so tired, bro. I'm so tired. My throat is killing me too. Ish, a quick question. NVIDIA Reflex enabled. Yeah, I play with enabled plus boost for sure.